Well, welcome back to the only show where you guys, the callers, are the stars of the show. We are going to let's switch up a little bit. We're going to talk for about 15 minutes, Preston and I, beginning of the show, but set the table. But you guys can use any of those topics or sound off on anything you guys want to talk about. We've been off for a week. It's our first show in a week. I've been under the weather a little bit, taking care of some things, but we're back better than ever. Make sure you guys get over to Preston's Paradise, checking out all of Preston's content. That's what's got me through when I'm laying in bed, getting better. Watching all Preston stuff. Great job, Preston. But this week, USC's getting back. We get that taste out of our mouth. We got that Notre Dame game to kind of say goodbye to. It'd be a good opportunity to get right, go 2-0 against the SEC, because that's what USC does. We beat the SEC. There's a lot of naysayers. Again, just like the situation back in September, everyone on the game day crew thinks that we're going to lose the SEC. There's a lot of SEC cheering going on these days over at ESPN, but we know when the odds are down and our backs against the wall, USC comes out swinging. We got some great news on guys coming back for the game. We can go into that a little bit, but I guess we just start off. Preston, how you doing? And then what's on your mind? I mean, I want to hear about your videos. What's your video came out most recently?
Yeah, dropped a video today, just, how I'm kind of feeling coming into this bowl game. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, this is a meaningless game. This game doesn't matter. Whatever we lost, we're not going to win a national championship this year. But let's just think about how we were feeling coming into Louisville last year and how we were feeling after the game. That momentum, right? Urban Meyer talked about the program and, how important momentum was for college football programs. And that momentum after Louisville last year took us into the offseason and took us into week 1 against LSU. So I think this is a very important game. I'm going to have my eyes peeled for, Lincoln Riley's body language, his play calling, the youngsters that get opportunities out there and how we play and manage the game against Texas A&M. So I'm excited to have USC football back. And yeah, man, Tim is handling the call, but yeah, we're
my bad. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we got calls coming in already. I just letting we got a great call lined up for our first call of the night, but we did want to hit some of these topics really quick. So let's go to the first thing we're talking about. USC had a very special visitor at practice. For you guys who've been following us, during the season, USC picked up a phenomenal 5-star quarterback with Longstreet. Longstreet has made his appearance here at USC. He's making his presence known, talking about how the fact he's getting to know the offense, and he's really looking forward to a competition to spring with Jaden. But okay. Preston, what do you think?
No, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm super excited. I think that's super valuable, man. The fact that Hussein is able to get in there and practice, just invaluable, right? To be able to. There's long periods, between now and between the start of next season where there's going to be no contact with actual football coaches. So having this time to, practice football, playbook stuff, and, just practice with the team overall, the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, and build camaraderie with those guys is super important. And happy to have those guys early on campus right now.
Yeah, getting in early, getting these extra practices even before spring ball. Go also check out, we're supposed to talk about our channels. Make sure you check out Trojan Blade. He talking about this game. These bowl games have lost a lot of luster over the years, Preston. Even more so now with a 12-team playoff, almost rendering a lot of these bowls almost meaningless, really. Not meaningless to USC, not meaningless to a lot of diehard fans, but to most people, now as I said it, and Gabe was talking about on his latest video, talking about it's almost become like a glorified spring game. So we're going to see a lot. I mean, we're going to see a very different secondary and linebacker guys probably coming in to get some spot play. Definitely going to see some new faces on the defensive line. Not new faces, but more of a role they're going to have on the defense side of the ball in this game. So I'm excited to see it. But I've been talking about for a while. People always want to have scrimmages, get rid of spring games. They're boring. That no one cares about them. This is now the bowl games. If you don't make the 12-team playoff, it's pretty much now become an early, we'll call them your winter game, because that's what it's going to be, where you get that scrimmage and you can see all your young players, because most people are opting out. A lot of guys are going to the transfer portal. This is really a good snapshot of your young people who you're going to have for the following season.
Yeah, big time developmental, portion of the season. And Yeah, man. Great time to try new things, put players in certain positions, see what they're capable of, see what they're good at, and you can build that towards the offseason, towards new roles, or changing from one role to another. So yeah, awesome that we're able to get young players in there to play in this game and see what they got.
Speaking of young players, so we got to see a little bit last year of Elijah Page come on in and show us what he had in the Holiday Bowl. We were going to see a similar thing again this week when we have young Tobias Raymond, who came in needing to gain a lot of weight, but it just seems like he showed up and all of a sudden instantly he was just ready to play. And a lot of times you do realize though that a guy will be the right size, but does he have that strength? Does he have that technique? Does he have that ability to play with his as a unit? And so Tobias, we saw a little bit of Tobias and actually played pretty well given the circumstances on the road. Third game of the season against Michigan when we were having a lot of difficulty on that line, and like nobody. And it's a good reason. The defensive line over at Michigan is going to make a lot of offensive lines look silly. But he did come in, kind of a baptism by fire. But this is going to be his first real time to get out there with a significant snaps and probably with the starting line. And I'm interested to see, Preston, what are you looking for with Tobias Raymond in his play?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, I said it in my video today. Kid's got all the intangibles, got great size, put on great, good weight since he's been on campus. And we saw him, against Michigan, against the toughest defensive line we saw all year. Held his own for, a series or two. And very excited. I think it's just the consistency, right? We've seen him successfully in that spot, but it's the consistency because we saw Elijah Page look very good against LSU last year around this time. Did a great job, but just building the consistency for the young offensive lineman, that is what's truly crucial. And yeah, man, it's going to be, my eyes are on that right tackle spot. I got a lot of faith in Alani Noah at that right guard spot. And then that center spot with Killian O'Connor is another thing that's super important. And how do I say, very apprehensive about, what goes on there with that position, because that's an extremely important position. And I think a lot of USC fans took Jonah Monheim for granted this year at the center position.
Without a doubt, yeah. So we did see Killian come in, Kill Switch come in at, I can't remember, was it a Utah State game or was it Nebraska or was it Wisconsin?
Utah.
I think it was Wisconsin, maybe. I can't remember because I believe Jonah went down for a series. I can't remember. I'm trying, guys in chat, let me know in the chat if you remember. He came in and he played a little bit, but we're giving up a lot of size. I ain't gonna lie. You're giving up probably about 4 inches or so in height. Obviously that goes into reach. But inside, you guys really, inside their guards and interior offensive line, it's not about having that big reach. So all that stuff's really elbows in. It's kind of a little more tighter. You're blocking in a phone booth and just kind of staying low and trying to block. But he gives up a lot of size, height, and weight. I'm sure he gives up probably about 30 pounds and about 3 or 4 inches. But he is an experienced center. It'll be interesting to see how well that develops, because that center exchange, him calling out plays, but he is a veteran. He does know the offense. So I don't think there is going to be a massive drop off for that. I am worried about, though, the physicality, because we are going up against, although they are missing a number of players on the A&M side of the ball, on the defensive line. That's where they got hurt. They're pretty healthy everywhere, healthy and stayed. They opted in on most of the other positions. But that defensive line is really the part of basically Preston that they got decimated with guys either going to the portal, or leaving the program.
Yeah, that center position, man, all about leverage, awareness, and yeah, it's important, man. I mean, people in the chat, Tim, you could how many botch snaps did you really witness this year? Either maybe one botch snap, maybe, I think to my memory. Jonah did a great job. We cannot take that for granted. So I would love to see Killian O'Connor's success. I want him to go out there and look like Jeff Saturday or, whatever great center that we've ever seen. And but it's a hard position to play. You gotta be extremely smart.
Ryan Khalil. How about that one?
Ryan Khalil, exactly. Ryan sorry about that. Ryan Khalil, the Trojan. And yeah, so hopefully he can get it done and have a great game.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you guys, we will be taking your phone calls really quickly here. The number here, get in the call queue, 997 Riley, 888-997-4539. Get a call. We could talk about these things. I want one thing though from you guys when you call in. I want you to start thinking about it right now. I know that Preston and I are thinking about it. I was going to ask for, as always, we're going to ask for your score predictions. But I was watching Light the Torch. Make sure you go over and check out Light the Torch podcast. Great group of guys over there. Make sure you're helping and supporting them, supporting the entire USC community. But they did something that was really cool, and we're going to steal. So you know what? Listen, we're going to straight up steal from them. Don't tell them, though. Okay? They don't watch the show. All right? We're going to steal from them. I want to get you guys defensive and offensive MVPs because I think that was a fun idea they did on their show. We are straight going to steal that because it's such a great idea. Make sure you're checking out Light the Torch. All right?
Sure.
Anything else we got? Okay, so we could also talk about briefly for next season. We could talk about the defensive tackles. USC just got a lot more stout on the inside of their line, picking up two really big human beings. That's what we've been worried about. That's what we probably lost. I guarantee you we lost about 3 games this season by not having depth, like talented depth, not just to rotate during the game so we stay fresh in the third and fourth quarter, but also so late in October into November, the guys are all banged up and nursing and not playing healthy. It would be good to have a better, healthier rotation. Obviously, losing Dejan Lafitte, right? I think so, yeah. And Rakes in the spring. And then all of a sudden, Bear Alexander is going AWOL on the program. An already decimated, well, I guess weak interior defensive line as far as numbers are concerned became decimated. USC's done a lot to improve that. You could tell it was a major focus for them this year in the offseason, picking up Keyshawn Silver and Jamal Jarrett, both of them north of 320, 330 range. Big guys from North Carolina getting ready to fill in some of that depth, along with Kobe Pepe, Ratmanabu of Labu, I believe, Carlon Jones, and you might even see some Jide Abasiri inside in the middle there. He's more of a 3, but you can see him down there at the zero tech as well. A lot of depth there to talk about, Preston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, you hear the numbers, right? 6'4", 335, 6'5", 355, or whatever. Like, that's all good and great. You look at the numbers, the production isn't crazy, isn't off the charts, but I get excited because of Eric Henderson, because of a Sean Nua, because of a Denton Lynn. So these players are going to play above, their level. And I think they will, play the best they've ever played in their careers. We've got a great coaching staff here at USC, and I'm just excited for, the heights that these players can reach in this program. So yeah, man, it's exactly what we needed. More reinforcements to stop the run and, clog things up and make it easier for the secondary, get to the passer, all that types of stuff. So excited to have those guys on board.
Yeah, like you said, Silver, a very he's the more experienced one of the two playing Kentucky. But then you got a really he's a redshirt junior. So and then you have a really, really, I mean, when I say big, Jamal Jarrett is a very big guy, but as you just said, Preston, not a lot of experience, not a lot of reps. That's where that development, that's why the dog work. That's what we've been, we're all behind Coach Henney and Coach Nua. And I do believe they will be able to shape those guys and get them to where we need them to be in order to be successful in 2025. And then one more thing we're going to hit really quickly before we go to the phone calls, pull this up real quick, is the fact that we have a great situation at wide receiver. Guys, I think we got to see Mekhi Lemon kind of come out, during the bowl game and show what he could do. I think we're going to see that take it to another level as well. As everyone knows, it's no big secret. USC lost 2 of the Fab 4 that we had, right? We saw that Deuce Robinson had left and Zachariah Branch are gone, leaving Jacoby Lane and Mekhi Lemon, the Lemonade, right? So they're calling it now. So I see them get a lot of targets in this game. Hopefully they get into a flow. Still a number of great targets on the team. I mean, I don't believe any of the guys are opting out. So, outside those 2 guys, we still have a really good receiving crew, a lot of veterans out there. Wiley veterans go along with a lot of youth, Preston.
Mm-hmm. Jay Fair, Kyle Ford, a lot of good wide receivers, and interested to see how they manage the rotation. I think those are clearly the go-to guys, but interested to see how they manage the rotation, who they get the ball to, who kind of fills the roles of a Zach, of a deuce, and how the offense really flows with these guys being probably the focal point at the wide receiver position. Also, let's see if we can get tight ends involved, right? I would love to see, a little bit of tight end play as well in the bowl game. So yeah, excited to see what they do with that.
Maybe some Joey Olsen for Gabe out there. Yeah.
Hey, Joey Olsen, Walter Matthews, maybe, New England, 2 tight ends, you know what I'm saying? Gronk, Hernandez, I don't know.
Yeah, and Jay Fair had we're going back to Allegiant, you guys. So it's pretty cool. I mean, these USC, they were saying Texas A&M has never played in the state of Nevada before, which is not too surprising, but they haven't been. Well, we've been to Allegiant just recently, as of the first game of the season. So Jay Fair caught a touchdown in that game, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Double check me again, chat on that. But this team, especially Jada Mayava played at UNLV, so playing in Allegiant. He did not play in the first game. That was Norm Moss. But you have Jada Mayava, who played at UNLV. This is his home field, Allegiant Stadium. He has played there before, so he's gonna feel right at home, you guys, playing in that stadium. Interested to see Preston if he can use some of that experience, in order to get him cooking early in this game.
Yeah, I like it, man. It's got to help him practicing there all week and just, the familiar area and the familiar feel. And I just hope he's ready to break out, man. Have the game of his life, coming back. And, yeah, man, just ready for him to ball out.
So make sure you guys give us a call. We're now going to open the call. So this is just some of the ideas you guys would have. I'd ask 2 things of you guys. First one is, yes, go ahead and give us a call. Let us know who's going to win this game. Is it Texas A&M? You want to get booed? Fine, go ahead. Is it USC? And try to give us a score. And then I'd like you guys just to go in and think about it. This defense is going to be changed up a little bit. All right. What do you think is going to be? Who's going to be the MVP of the game on both sides of the ball, on offense and on defense? Thank you to Light Torch Podcast. Again, make sure you guys are checking them out for the great idea. All right. We had 2 phone calls, but we were talking, and I forgot this is a call-in show, so people decided to head on out. But you guys go ahead and give us a call, 888-997-4539. You call now, you'll get in right away. We'll assume pretty quickly we're going to have a call queue. So if you want to get in, be the first one in to talk, then we'd love to hear from you. Dale reminding us we lost a great one. I know it's baseball, but has there ever been a better leadoff hitter than Ricky Henderson? And then if he doesn't jack a home run to start the game, once he gets on base, he's going to get somewhere to third base one way or another. Ricky Henderson died. What was it this week or late last week? I can't remember. But absolutely, when you talk about leadoff hitters in Major League Baseball, it just doesn't get any better than Ricky Henderson. I'm sure he had a number of football scholarships as well. The guy was an amazing athlete. So we lost an all-time great in Ricky Henderson. Well, all right. That's it for our show. We got no phone calls. It's about 5 minutes. That's all I got to do, really. Preston, we got to remember that. All we got to do is hang out for about a half hour and not take a call, have people wait for a few minutes, and then they'll get tired and they will head on out. I'd hate to be the one to do this, but we could give our predictions in the chat. So if you guys want to do it early, maybe we'll do that to fill some time. Guys, what do you think the score is going to be in this game? There's a couple things you got to remember. This Gabe pointed this out. This is not a team that's going to throw the rock. Okay, this is a team that's among the schools that run the ball more than anyone else. I think Gabe said 17th. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. About 17th in the country in rush attempts per game. We know they got a big bad O-line. Preston, do you think our front seven? Now remember, we're returning, so we lose Jalen Smith. I know he's out.
Yeah.
But we get EG back, and Eric Gentry early in the game or early in the season was that guy that was getting to the backfield, making TFLs and just causing havoc. Unfortunately, Jalen was that guy on the outside and on the perimeter making tackles and at corner, which is just amazing, locking guys down. But getting Eric Gentry back is going to be a huge shot in the arm.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be fantastic. And this is what I said. When you look at their running game, look at Penn State's running game, right? We bottled that running game up. The Michigan running game did fairly well against Michigan, figured it out as the game went on, figured it out and bottled it up. They had the 2 explosive runs, understandably, but did a good job. And then Notre Dame, those are the ones that got us. You know what I'm saying? They had probably the best running game we've seen all year. But I don't think Texas A&M is that good of a running game. I think they're somewhere in between a Penn State, somewhere in between a Michigan. So I believe in the defensive front and the front seven to be able to bottle things up. And I also believe in Dan Lynn, man. They got this freshman quarterback back there. Like I truly believe Dan Lynn is going to scheme it up and do what he needs to do to contain the running game.
Yeah, Penn State had Katron Allen, and then you have you got Love and Price at Notre Dame. I mean, so we were able to, we did a good job against Penn State, but it was crazy when Love went down in the third quarter. It was really when USC got back into it. It's not like Price was a slouch.
Yeah, so he was good. He was good.
Yeah, and those O-line, like, it's crazy. Notre Dame, goddamn Notre Dame, they can lose half their line and then all of a sudden replace them and with guys just next man up, because there's just something about Notre Dame. We always thought it was a Brian Kelly thing. Well, guess what, Brian? It wasn't you. It's a Notre Dame thing. Notre Dame just constantly has just line after line after line, and those are big, nasty dudes that love the run block. And I mean, all offensive linemen love the run block, but it just seems like for decades, right? That's the school that's putting out these big, gigantic monsters that are capable of making a defense look silly. I don't think that is Texas A&M, especially also losing the personnel up front like they did. It'll be interesting to see if USC has the success running the ball, because I think that's where this game's gonna be won or lost. Can you? I'll ask you this, chat, and I'll ask you, Preston. Can USC run the ball for 150 yards, north of 150 yards in this game? Because I'll tell you what, if we don't, I think our chances of winning are very small.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, we have to run the ball, man. And if we can run the ball, will we run the ball? Those are the two questions, right? If we're running the ball effectively, do we continue to run the ball effectively to win the game? You've got some young running backs back there, right? Really gonna be taking on the largest load that they've seen all year. So I have full confidence, man, in Brian Jackson. I love a bigger back, and Amarian Peterson, whoever's gonna be back there running the ball. Would love to see Woody Marksman back there running the ball, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, I think it's gonna come down to that for sure. If you can run it.
Okay, well, listen, the cat's out of the bag. Half the guys from Light the Torch podcast are here, so they're gonna know we stole their stuff. So anyway, we're still gonna do it. We're still shamelessly gonna steal a great idea, because listen, that's what great ideas are for, to be stolen. So you guys, when you do call in again, I think Suka was on the line before, but I don't see him anymore. But you guys, this is a call-in show, and we can't have a call-in show without you guys. Otherwise, we'll have an abbreviated live show, which is okay for me. I'm gonna be driving tomorrow morning, heading up to I'll be on the 15 freeway, 91 to the 15, all the way to Vegas. I'll see you guys. I'll be recharging my car probably somewhere in Baker, so I got about an hour there. If I see you there, fight on, have a talk. But I'm okay with a short show if we can't get any phone calls, which is really weird. I wonder if there's anything wrong with the phone line, because I've yet to have one. Oh wait, hang on, we do have a line. Sorry, my bad. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hi, caller. Are you there? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey there, my name's Tristan, and I'm calling from South Carolina.
I'm sorry, what was the name again?
Tristan.
Tristan, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to call. I saw nobody was calling. I was listening to you guys and felt bad.
Appreciate the pity call, man. Listen, we need that sometimes.
Yeah. Big fan of you and Trojan Blade. Both my parents went to USC, alumni, but I'm actually just graduating from Clemson. Just wanted to call and maybe talk about the Notre Dame game. That was the one game I went to this year. Flew back to California, went down for that big rivalry. Like to say that I noticed a couple of things that were interesting. The first thing's probably that when, I don't know if you guys were there or watched the game live and in person, but there was a huge difference in size between that Notre Dame team and the USC team. Were you guys there in person? I don't know if you guys were there in person. But.
Yeah, you're talking about on the defensive line compared to the offensive line. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, just the line in general, man. Those guys, when they came out, you could just see, like, it was like watching a college team versus a high school team almost. I don't know. if you there and saw that. But dude, those Notre Dame guys look huge and just look way bigger than USC. And I've been to a lot of USC games in my life, and that was one of the first times I've seen that. I just wanted to say that might be something about.
Yeah,
I'm glad that we're getting.
Just a good point there, really quick. But they said the same thing. Remember this, though. I mean, look, size is very important. Don't get me wrong, and we're going to see that same matchup probably with when we see Texas A&M. But they said the same thing about LSU. You know, they had some big linemen in LSU, and USC stood up pretty tall on both sides of the line to their lines. Overall, our line is a lot bigger. We're going to take a step back. We're taking a step back at center, but I'll tell you what, Tobias Raymond, Tobias Raymond is when you see Tobias Raymond, first time I saw him at the spring game and he walked past me, that guy, that's a very large human being. So he's bigger than Mason. I'm almost certain he's bigger than Mason Murphy, but I can double check that as well. But, as far as across the line for with E-Man and Page, we are going to take a step back at Killian. Obviously, not everyone's going to be a Jonah Monheim size center, but that's really the only spot where we're going to get a little bit smaller. Preston, your thoughts on the size and size advantage probably inside for Texas A&M?
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on our defensively on our defensive front, we are undersized, right? That is just a fact. Currently, right now, we don't have the transfers in right now. But as far as the offensive line, I feel good about the offensive line. I mean, other than obviously the center position, which is a little undersized currently, but I don't really throw too much stock in the size because I know how football works. Play football, you got to play the game. It's a game of leverage. Low man wins, and so size and strength does matter, but it's not always going to win you a game.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah, no, I mean, my favorite guys have always been the fast, athletic guys. But I just wanted to say I was at that field at the Coliseum, or not. Well, I was in the stadium, and it just felt like two different teams, two different leagues of teams, just in size comparison. I know that size doesn't always matter, but it definitely helps, and it definitely they just look like different teams. And another thing I wanted to mention too is because I grew up going to USC games with my parents all the time. Like the fan base, I'm a little bit worried about the USC fan base. When I was there, that's supposed to be like the rivalry game, the last game of the season, like the one that everyone should be good to, especially USC fans. And that stadium looked like half empty to me.
The Notre Dame game?
And it was when I was there. Yeah, and it was so bad. I actually I got nosebleed seats for cheap, and I went down to sit at the 50-yard line because all the seats were wide open. There, all the people that were around me.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was not capacity crowd, but it was nowhere near half empty. But maybe we're looking at the wrong stadiums.
It just seemed very empty from what I'm used to, going to USC games. And I'm surrounded by Notre Dame fans all around me. And then I was sitting in really, really nice seats, halfway up 50-yard line because I know I just walked in because there's so many open seats everywhere. And, I think it was like the third quarter, halfway through the third quarter, some guy comes, like a couple, teenagers come down with beers. They're like, "Oh, you're sitting in my seat." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I moved over. And I'm like, "Oh, I wonder if, they were up in the bar, drinking, and they're not really I guess, it's very weird. People aren't supporting their team." And then literally at the end of the third quarter, they leave with, their little posse and go back up to wherever they're drinking beer. And then some other girls come down in the fourth quarter, which I'm saying these people weren't even cheering for the team for the whole first three quarters. And then some other girls come down like, "Oh, now you're in my seat," because I moved over, right? Because there was so many open seats. And then they said, "Oh, you're in my seat." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." But then, where's the fan base? I mean, I was trying to think about it, and I mean, it's just really sad what the programs come to in terms of fans, because I go to Clemson, and I'll go to Clemson games, and man, the whole stadium's full, no matter who they're playing.
Wait, was there a Laker game that night in Clemson?
A Laker game? No.
was there one?
I
no. Were the Chargers playing? Were the Chargers playing the next day in Clemson? I'm just checking. I'm just checking with you because. Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, but you look where Clemson is. It's out in the moons. There's not very many people here.
Not much else to do. Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing you live in California. I don't know where you live, but there are so many people in California. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But hold on a second. But here's the misconception a lot of national people kind of have in their heads. They think because there's millions of people here that they're all like possible Trojan fans. I can't even count the number of professional leagues and teams we have here in Southern California. Like 2 hockey teams, 2 soccer teams, 2 football teams, two basketball teams. I mean, it's. I'm not making excuses. I do think our fans, because you got to remember also USC in that game, we're a 500 team, and a lot of the fan base is just kind of hopped off the wagon because they do have other options. There are other options. I say that, listen, I think the fans in South Bend, I think the fans Clemson, I think the fans in the Midwest from because Michigan, you got options, in the Detroit area to go to games. Ann Arbor and Detroit are really close to each other. So I'm not just saying it's all about pro versus as college, but also in LA, we're also a transplant city. I got to break this conversation out every time. I mean, there's likelihood you go to work. It's not a bunch of SC fans. I mean, if you go work in Athens, Georgia, or something, you're probably going to have a bunch of Bulldogs, right? And so working with you. And you go to Los Angeles, you're going to have like Penn State guy. You have a Wisconsin dude. You could have an Alabama guy. You could have guys from all over the place. Why? Because I hate to say it, we're an end destination place where transplants, where people from all around the country want to come live here. So. It's a weird dynamic. Yes, there are millions of people here. Yes, we should have better support. Yes, some of our fan base is terrible. I'm not defending that portion of our fan base. We have about 40 to 50,000 diehards, is shrinking with every generation that leaves us. But I mean, it's always been that way. And then when USC's winning, you're going to see 70,000 people there. When they're not winning, you're not going to see 70,000. But I will say I did go to the home games this year, and actually, for our record, our attendance was actually pretty damn good. And I didn't see what was this huge gaps in the attendance. Was it lower than expected? Yeah. Was the announced attendance what the actual attendance was? Hell no. But I think you might be a little bit, maybe you're used to seeing it chalk block, everyone there, hitting Howard's Rock and running down the ramp. I mean, I think that, it's not that kind of an environment. But it's certainly not UCLA. You make it seem like we have tarps and half the people aren't there. There are not enough fans there, and shame on you, a lot of you fans that are out there that are fair weather. But let's face it, Southern California, if you're not winning, Preston, they're not going to show up.
Yeah, I don't make excuses for USC fans no more. And I'll be honest, sometimes a lot of the conduct of the fans in the stadium is also terrible as well. But nonetheless, just like you said, transplant city. I see it here in Miami. Same exact. It reminds me exactly of Miami.
Hurricanes.
The Hurricanes had a pretty good season this year. That stadium was never full. Never completely full. So, that's just the way it is, man. You're in Los Angeles and you're in a big city, and there's options, and you have to win, man. It's a front runner. They want to win. They want to be in the hottest ticket. You have to win. You have to be successful. That's how you get people in there.
Anything else for us, Tristan?
Yeah, I mean, I was just brought up to go to those big rivalry games, and whether your team's bad or good, you want to just see that, the rival team lose. So I was just really surprised there wasn't more support for, to me, what was the biggest game of USC season, trying to ruin Notre Dame's hopes and expectations for the playoffs. But, no one was there. It felt like there was not enough people there.
There weren't enough fans for Tristan there, and I will say there were not enough fans for what I would like either. But it was nowhere near 30,000 because 35 would be about half capacity, and it was nowhere near that small. But yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. I mean, think about it. You have a lot of Notre Dame fans excited about getting to the playoffs. And you got a lot of USC fans pissed off that for the second year in a row, we didn't even come close. We were done in October. So you have that aspect to the fan base. But I will tell you this: USC wins, they will show up. It's always been that way. It has truly always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
So great call. Appreciate you calling in, man.
I'd also like to, one more thing I'd like to point out. I feel like everyone's trying to, jump on this hype train with USC right now in a negative way, because I keep seeing all these videos about, USC is falling down right now. This is Lincoln Riley's really his program's falling apart, and they're all jumping on it just because we're losing, some 5-star players and this and that. And I mean, if you look at these 5-star players that are leaving, all these players weren't really able to do much this year. I mean, Zachariah Branch, really loved him. I had a really high expectations for him. I thought he did really well for us this year, but he really didn't do for us, what we thought, he was going to do this year. So just a little bit disappointing with some of those players that, are leaving or whatever. Kyron Hudson and, Kyle Ford, and Hughes Robinson. And so, I mean, going to FSU too, I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, these are two.
They won one game this year.
His dad, his dad played at Florida State. I think his dad covers Florida State, and he's a two-sport player. He plays baseball. I was talking, there was a lot of production, but I watched a video. I belong to I'm a member on Gabe's channel, and he has like a members only video with all the touchdowns this season. And early on, I was seeing a lot of number 2 scoring touchdowns on post patterns and making some great plays. And then speaking of that Notre Dame game, he had that great little sideline grab, with great footwork to stay in bounds that put us in position to tie that game. We were 21 yards away from tying that game. And that was a big part of Deuce Robinson. So some people saying it's not a big loss. I think that they're big losses. But as you pointed out, though, it wasn't like they were putting up insane numbers. Matter of fact, some of the other guys that were lesser known names were putting up, equal to or better numbers. So, I mean, when you're getting the most also, and they were getting a lot of targets. So, look, I think both of them are great athletes, and they could have really amazing careers. We don't even know where Zachariah Branch is going to end up right now. Wish them the best. But like I said in the last show, there's only so many balls to go around. I mean, especially even if we are throwing it 50 times a game, which we shouldn't, but if we are throwing it that much, it's still with 4 guys that are alpha receivers that want to see themselves all in the NFL one day. It's kind of hard to split those reps up. Yep. And so those targets have to go to somebody, and we like to throw to our running backs. The tight ends got to eat too. So, I mean, this year was a money year. And I think maybe it was a bit Pollyanna for us all to think that all 4 of them, although they were a very happy receiver room, that they're all going to hang around, because these are decisions and Preston business decisions that these young men have to make. And I'm sure, all things being equal, I bet you they didn't want to leave USC, but they have to do what's best for their future.
Yeah, guys, different time. The business is different, and these are two guys that have great upside. I wish them nothing but the best. They could be excellent receivers, but me personally, I still believe we kept the 2 best receivers on the team. So that's all I have to say about that.
And I agree with that.
No. And LA is a pro town. It's actually a title town. I guess said Irish. We're a title town. We win world championships here. But when USC's hitting, when USC is winning, this is probably second. I mean, they can give the Lakers and the Dodgers a run for their money, and and they're the only team. USC is the only team that can do that, and that's big news when you talk about 2 of the greatest franchises in all professional sports. USC as a college program has given them a run for their money. So yes, we are a pro town, but USC special. And you haters out there, go ahead and hate all you want. It's true. You guys know who USC is. So,
yes, sir.
All right, Tristan, great call, man. Thank you so much for checking in with us. Appreciate you saving us with the call. I hope you call back again sometime, man.
Yeah, I'll have to do it. Maybe when you guys don't have anyone calling again.
Appreciate it. Hey, listen, call in anytime. Great call.
I think we just won the national championship.
I appreciate it, guys. See you later.
Thank you.
Sorry, Pete was a little premature on that with the national championship. Just get excited when we're talking about, USC being the top of the LA sports market. He got a little excited.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Pete. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah. Good evening. How you doing? It's Avery.
The one and only Avery. How are you doing, sir? The new and improved, the more optimistic Avery. All right. Are we still riding that optimism train?
the game tomorrow night?
We can't start tonight?
He's a realist, Avery.
We start tonight. I mean, hey, look. Kind of nervous about the game tomorrow night. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm hoping some of the younger guys can get some burn. I haven't really seen the depth chart. I would like to see Carlin Jones and the other kid with the really long last name. Don't want to butcher it.
Bulabalabu?
Is he available or is he still injured?
Abasari? Who are you talking about?
That was short. Abasiri's. Yeah, I think he's Bulabalabu, right? Ratmana Bulabalabu. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Is
he hurt? He's still hurt?
I don't know about the underclassmen that are hurt. They don't release that kind of stuff. They don't say, "Oh, hey, so and so's back and healthy." No one asked us last week or this week about it. I like their depth long term, but I think this really could be, it's still a lot of Kobe Pepe season. I think going into this game. We will see. What are you looking to see in the middle there?
I like Kobe. I think he's definitely been a great resurgence. I think he was slept on and kind of not, given the proper tools until Henny came around. So I'm definitely a Kobe fan. So
coaching matters.
I'm not serious, but here's my reality. What'd you say?
Coaching matters. Coaching matters, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say I'm not losing my breath if we don't win the game tomorrow. And I think it can go either way, 31-28 either way. I'm just patiently waiting to see how we fill out the roster.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Well, there are some opt-outs. Trying to pull it up right now, but I think that a lot of it's intact. A lot of what USC had in the season is intact. Ooh, I got to drop you down, Avery, though. But yeah, I mean, when you look at really a lot of the holes. We thought the defense would be the big thing, but Mason Cobb. So I saw Gabe was letting me know before the show, right before the show, that he says he's entering the NFL draft. But I know he's in Las Vegas. Does this mean that he's opted out? So I would put a question mark next to that Mason Cobb. But I do believe, someone correct me in the chat if he's officially said he's out. I mean, most likely he is. But I thought we were really going to see probably a lot from this defense. I don't know. I know what you're thinking about the linebacker situation, but losing Mason Cobb would be a pretty big hit right now, as far as the linebacker depth, Preston.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, I expected like either him or Easton to be out, really. So I was trying to slot in like one of the younger guys to fill in that role. But in terms of the interior up front, I mean, we're gonna have most of those guys there, so that is a good part about that. But yeah, just that offensive line, man. Not
a lot of depth, though. I mean, losing that piece is really really a pretty big kick to our depth. Having Mason and a guy, I guess, in a game, really, guys, where we just talked about, you can see Texas A&M run the ball a lot. I'm not the biggest fan, but just simply, let's face it, we were, God built a certain way. The one thing about Mason is he's not the greatest guy when you ask him to cover a lot of ground, but the man does have 2 interceptions. He's in the zone and he can take care of that. If he's asked to run man with somebody or stretch the field, like, vertically or horizontally, he's probably not your guy. But if you got a guy coming through the A gap, I want Mason there. I mean, he to meet him in that hole. I mean, he's a guy. He's a physical hitter that will be missed when they run the ball. So I think that is a really big hit. Another one, Greedy Vance. We were talking earlier. I can't remember if it was. We're talking about center. And the thing about the offensive line is if you don't hear a person's name, it's usually a good thing. If you're an offensive lineman and you're not hearing their name, that's a damn good thing. It means he's doing his job, right? Mm-hmm. But then you got someone like Greedy playing the nickel, where he had his moments. He absolutely had his moments, but in general, really, he was just consistent. And people, they're not going to throw because it was great coverage. He was locking guys down. So he'll be a big miss. Now, I say we're losing all this, and obviously we know that we're losing Jalen Smith. So those are big losses on defense, starters, big time starters for us that will not be there. However, I'm just saying, getting Kamari Ramsey back as a guy I didn't think we'd have for this bowl game, and getting Eric Gentry back. Look, I love both of the guys I just named, but if you're telling me that just the overall for the team, we're going to have Kamari Ramsey and I just said it. If we have Kamari Ramsey and Eric Gentry in the game, but we're going to lose Greedy and we're going to lose Mason, I'm going to take that bet. Now, I want all of them in the game. But if you're telling me, okay, listen, we're going to give you back EG, we're going to give you back Ramsey, but we're going to take Greedy, Jalen, and Mason. 3-2. Maybe it's a bit harder, but it's still, I mean, it's something we can live with. That's football. The injuries happen, opt-outs happen. It is a bowl game. We're going to get to see some of the young guys play, which means I think you see a lot more Desmond Stevens. I think you see a lot more of Desmond Stevens in this game, just simply out of necessity, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I like his game. He had a pick early in the season. I think he's very athletic. I'm in more favor of him in the trajectory that he's exhibited going forward in the future. So happy to see him. And you probably know this better than I would. Is Newbie not ready? Is he not going to be ready until next year? Is he still putting on weight and adjusting to the college game?
Well, no, it's the next man up. So you're gonna see. Sorry, go ahead, Preston.
No, he looks ready to me. I mean, he looked ready in the spring to me. I mean, I think he's going to be ready, man. I expect him to pop out tomorrow and make some plays if given the opportunity. I think Elijah Newby's ready to go, man. Yeah,
those young guys. I mean, we are losing linebackers, but the great news is we do have some guys back. The newbie, you got Jaden Walker, a guy. Now remember, these guys, a true freshman, but you talk about a true freshman now. That's he's got the whole spring underneath him, I believe. I can't remember Jaden's Walker was here, but I mean, you have him. He played fall ball, and now he's had time throughout the season practicing for a whole year. So they're not really as green as you would think they are. We have some guys. They're going to be inexperienced getting out there. But Elijah Newby, I can't wait to see him. Garrison Madden's been looking for a while to get in, and you just know that Eric Gentry is just going to be, I don't know, man. Getting him back at linebacker, it's almost seemed like the defense took such a huge step back with the pass rush of all things. Eric's ability to get into to disrupt the backfield was something we never really recaptured on this team. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Man, I think literally having Eric Gentry could get you 2 more wins, like having him on the field, honestly.
Hey, he's that good.
He's a unique individual. If I could compare him, or if I had to, to give a layout for him, or I would say, what's the kid's name that plays DB for the Ravens? I feel like that Gentry is that version for a linebacker edge, if that makes any sense.
You lost me on that. I'm not the NFL go-to. Preston might be.
DB? I don't know.
Hamilton. That's the kid's name.
Oh, yeah, Hamilton. Yeah, Kyle Hamilton.
6'4", too.
Yeah.
I feel like Gentry is that mold for the linebacker edge, right? So I feel like he just hadn't put on that weight. Outside of that, I feel like everything that you guys say, he gets it done. He can play on the run, he pass game, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're missing guys. They're missing guys, but I think I don't think people are giving this staff and this roster enough credit. I do think that these guys have come along. Remember, though, with everything, there's growing pains. There's going to be growing pains, but I'm hoping that Eric Gentry, I don't put too much on him, but I mean, I'm hoping that his return is going to go a long ways into making this offense a little more aggressive, making their quarterback think. But like I said, the guy doesn't throw very much. He's going to be running, but some of those plays in the backfield that Eric made were, just getting the backfield and making a tackle behind the line of scrimmage before that running back could get started. So that's half the battle, right? This is going to be, they're going to want to slug it out with us. Well, if you can get them behind the sticks early, get them off schedule, that's what we're going to need to do. So we want this guy to have to throw the ball. Wegman started out this season. What's the kid's name? guy that came in for them. I forgot the backup quarterback. Who's their new starting quarterback?
Marcel Reed.
Reed, which is great. I mean, he can run, but I mean, I want to try to make him throw the ball, make him uncomfortable. I think that's USC's recipe, like most defenses, recipe for success.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, question. Is Lane and Lemon at the receiver? Who else?
Well, we brought him up. I mean, you have the same guy. You still have the veteran guys that we had, earlier in the season. Like I like the fact that there was Kyle Ford came up nails, and showed so much more athleticism than a lot of our fan base, remembers that he has before. I mean, poor Kyle has had knee surgeries going all the way back to Olu, but he has that athleticism. He has that size now. Preston,
Xavier Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, Xavier Jordan, if he's healthy, back.
I don't know about Richardson. Is Richardson done? He's coming back. Richardson is coming back, right?
No, I think Jay Fair. I think the other guys are have no more eligibility. I can't remember. I do with the COVID year and all that stuff. I always get lost on it, but I don't think that Charles Ross and Richardson have. I know Jay Fair has eligibility left.
Okay,
but I don't believe the other two have eligibility left. Again, as always, I get it wrong. Chat, please let me know. But yeah, I mean, Kyle Ford, Jacoby Lane, Makai Lemon, Jay Fair, Xavier Jordan, if he's healthy, man, I'd love to see what he's gonna be special, you guys. If we don't see him in this game, we're gonna see a heavy dose of him next year for sure. But yeah, I mean, losing Deuce, Kyron.
I mean, I kind of knew. I was just asking.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nah, man. You have a good holidays. You two guys have a good holidays. Enjoy your time with your family.
Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate it, Avery. Safe travels. Are you home? Are you home for the holidays, or are you out on the road again?
So the reality is, I think I just made South Carolina my new home for right now.
Okay. Nice. It's a science. We got 2 defensive tackles from North Carolina, so that's maybe a good thing, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Hey, absolutely. So, man, I'm happy to talk to the two of you guys. Fight on. Happy holidays, man.
Fight on, Avery.
Happy holidays, man.
I think I might get my wish. I think I might be able to get out here early tonight, Preston. Yeah, look, it's probably what time is it for you? It's like 11 o'clock for you. I know you're not going to complain.
I'm gonna be up till 2 a.m. tomorrow night, so that'd be great.
Right? I mean, we've been on for almost an hour now. We got thank you. We got like 250 people between Twitter and between YouTube. Appreciate you guys all being here as always. Thank you so much, you guys. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but yeah, hit that subscribe button, and because it is really the best way to let us know that you guys are enjoying the content and that you want to see more of these live shows. We were just actually, Preston and I were talking about doing a live show without call. I mean, actually, Preston, this was a trial run for it because we've set a record. I don't think I've ever done a call-in show.
The Bears game is on though, right?
Caleb's on right now.
Yeah, Caleb is on. I was watching. That's what I was saying. Caleb is on. So I think a lot of people are tuned into Caleb right now, which was fantastic. I hope he's not getting sacked.
Let's hope that Caleb for Christmas is gonna get a delayed birthday present and actually get some offensive linemen that can block, because
please.
I mean, he single-handedly is almost willing that team to win games, and I just can't wait. When's the rookie? When is he a free agent? How long do you got to wait for he's a free agent? I got to get him out of Chicago.
When the Dolphins are going to pick him up, it's going to be fantastic.
Wherever he goes next, I'm telling you right now, wherever he goes next is going to win a Super Bowl. That's what's going to happen, because he's that special. All right, guys. Well, I was joking around a bit, but I am kind of serious. I still gotta pack up all the photography equipment, get ready to get out of here for the game tomorrow night. USC taking on Texas A&M at 7:30. That's crazy timing, by the way, as well.
For a bowl game, y'all did this for a bowl game, bro. Like
I'm thinking back on the Vegas Bowls I've been to in the past. They were all during the day. They were all day games, but we're gonna do the late shift. They've all both teams have been here, and they're acclimated to Vegas, and I just think that if USC's, so the goal for USC here is, but it's this way in every game, but more so than any game this year. USC needs to absolutely take the air out of this team. I think USC must, and I think they must get off to a clean and quick start. This is not the situation. They're going to pound it. They saw Michigan do it. They watched Notre Dame do it. You know, that's the recipe to beating up on the team right now. Those defensive tackles we talked about aren't here yet. I think it was, I don't know if it was Avery who said it, but you know, do we have those guys? Do we have those guys inside? Is Bulavulavu, is Carlin Jones? Are they healthy yet? Ready to go to give some depth to that interior? I don't know.
I don't know, man. You better come out playing, man. I want to see Lincoln. I want to see the evolution of Lincoln Riley when I watch the game tomorrow night. I want to see a separation between Big 12 Air Raid Lincoln to Big 10 Link. I want to see Big 10 Link call the game, run the ball, play complementary football, and, you know, don't be dumb, man. Take what the defense gives you. Pass the ball, run the ball, mix it up. Don't become predictable. That's what I want to see. So if we can do that, we can win the game. If we're chucking the ball 50 times and running the ball 15 to 18 times, I do not think we're going to win tomorrow. So hopefully, you know, we see a bit of a change to Big Ten Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, but I do want to see the ball. I think that the way I want SC to get off to a quick start. I don't know if we're gonna have we're gonna get to see some Marion Peterson and some Brian Jackson in this game. And we were talking about the dynamic of having and making people stay clean and stay honest for Jada Mayava, right? And in the run game. I want to see the offensive line. It's kind of hard because now we're going to see it without having we're losing basically two starters on the offensive line. Are we going to be able to own the offensive line? Will we be able to run up the middle, which was very successful for Woody Marks a lot this season? Not having Jonah Monheim there, it's gonna be a time for Killian O'Connor to show us what he's got. I'm hoping that USC can establish a run early, but more than anything else, USC cannot play from behind in this game. They got to get out to a lead. They got to hold that lead and really play 4 quarters. I know something we've been saying the whole season, but I just don't think that USC will be able to come back in a game like this. Well, no, we'll see. We've seen Jaden almost come back against Notre Dame, so we'll see what they got. But for me, honestly, Preston, I just think with the guys that are missing, and not having, you know, a Woody Marks or, you know, in the backfield, losing to, I know they didn't always, I guess, produce like everyone wanted, but they definitely were factors. USC is, I don't think, in the position to try to come back late in the game during this game. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'd love it. I'd love that. No matter, as long as we get a W, Preston, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
But I think we got to start out fast.
I agree. I don't want to have to come back at the end of the game, man. I want to win outright, just win the game, and yeah, that'd be fantastic, man. We've dealt with so much stress all year, man. Let's just get a victory. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a nice 10, 14-point victory to end it off. Would be fantastic.
We have like 2 right on the season. We had the Wisconsin game, and then we had the Utah State game. Oh, Rutgers too. But we have another easy one. That's what we need to end the year. Let's have a nice little padded victory. I'm going to give my score, if we told everyone we would. I forgot to ask our one and only call. I mean, I don't know if Tristan had an offensive or defensive MVP, but I do want to get everyone's scores right now. So let me pop the ones we do have. So Sid Irish got SC winning 27-21. Brian, I don't know where this rumor came from, but no, he hasn't even been in school yet. I don't know if people. I'm not sorry. I should be. It's an honest question. But no, you got to be. He's enrolled to take classes, but he hasn't been in class yet, so he's technically not a student, so he cannot play in the game. Dale 34-31 USC in a close one. Sam Foreman 30-23. Okay, so got some more USC. Brandon going big, touchdown win for the Trojans 34-27.
Nice.
View from the stands 27-24. Another close one. Looks like USC sweeping so far. Gabe's got a super close one, 31-30. Still covers. I think that SC is plus 3.5, I think. in this game.
Yeah.
See, Skate for Life's got USC winning by 4, 27-23. Jay's got A&M winning in a landslide.
Ooh, is that an Aggie? Hope he's not a
Or
Trojan.
I got a lot of options. It could be also someone maybe a little bit west and north, maybe of College Station, maybe a state up there that might be. I don't know, but yeah, it could be a College Station guy. And then Sid reminding him that they're not scoring 42 points. So I do
That's
agree
a
with
good
that.
question. Any information on Anthony Lucas tomorrow? No, right? I would assume not.
I don't think he's playing. No, I think he hurt it. I think he had a knee injury, correct?
Yeah.
On that phantom roughing the passer. Jeez. So, here we go. So, what's it gonna be like? I think someone who was in the chat. Sorry, I forgot your name already. But so one of our regulars popped in the chat. They said that they hope it's Big 12 refs again, which I would take.
It was
because,
me. Yeah, I said that in the Light the Torch thing too.
Oh, was it Light the Torch?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, never mind. See, a regular.
Shout out to Light the Torch. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I like that too because I can't really get with the Big 12. It's like you had the Pac-12, which if you just touch the receiver, you would get a flag, and then you got the Big 10 where you can literally tackle the dude and it's play on. You know what I mean? So I want somewhere kind of in between where we talk about our receivers not getting separation. Well, shit. If you got guys grabbing you every time you're in your break, it's kind of hard to get separation. So it's gonna be refreshing.
That LSU game was officiated pretty amazing. There was PIs called in that game. They did a great job. That Big 12 crew did a great job.
There's some like questionable fumbles and throw. They got all the. I mean, it seems like they got all the calls right, which is so refreshing because we haven't seen that in the Pac-12 or the Big 10. So that was really nice to see. Will our offensive line, who took 3 games to figure out how to do the Big 10 blocking, right? Just grab anything. I'm hoping that they make that adjustment because there's nothing more a drive killer than on second down to pick up like 4 yards, 5 yards, making it about third and manageable. But instead now you look at second and 15. So I mean, I'm really hoping that it's clear and. Because the thing is no one's ripping USC off. It's just really crappy officiating. Even the Pac-12, they're too incompetent to try to stitch up USC. They're not bright enough. They're not good enough at their jobs to do a one-sided kind of thing. They're just blowing calls left and right. I'm really hoping that USC is in a game where the players get to decide the game because we saw a couple of years ago at Utah. We see that the refs can take over a game and decide the outcome. I hope this one is clean. I hope that USC can adjust to what normal officiating is, going from, again, where it was like if you even went slightly out of the frame that was a holding in the Pac-12, now you're grabbing anything and it's no holds barred. I'm hoping that USC remembers what the rules of football are and what you kind of can get away with, right? So we'll know early. Gotta get that early start. Do we got any more scores out there? Let me check really quick. Any final thoughts while we wrap it up here?
26. Final thoughts is just like, I want to win this game. We need to win this game. This fan base needs to win this game. Like we need this, man. Like I just want to win the game. I want to look good, and I care about this game, man. So I just hope we perform well and put on a good show for everybody watching, and end the game in the season with a positive, vibe, a positive thing. So. That's really all I have to say about that. And I got USC Trojans winning 35-21 in Vegas.
I got 31-27 USC. Good guys winning. Yeah, I think it should be a really stylistic match. I think USC. I mean, I know a lot of people think they're going to come out running the ball a lot. I actually think we're going to throw the ball more than people think in this game. I'm not saying that's what I want. I saw Preston's face. Oh, God damn it.
No, I was saying. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see 50 passes, man.
No, I don't know.
I don't want to see 50 passes.
If USC throws it 50 times, USC is going to lose this game. They're going to lose this game. Bro. Clip that, fine, whatever. I could be wrong, but I'd love to be wrong on that. But if USC throws the ball 50 times, I don't think we win that game. I don't. No. But I do see us throw the ball because we have Jacoby Lane. We have Mekhi Lemon, and if we don't use them effectively, we don't win this game either. I think that we need to see Jaden now. He's had the bowl prep in order to get a better handle. And it's not like he doesn't know the playbook. I'm saying getting familiar and getting on the same page, because what we saw on that Notre Dame play was a quarterback and a receiver that weren't on the same page. Well, now these guys are on the same. Well, I mean, Hudson's not there, so it's not. He's not in the game. But I'm saying you're going to see. You're hopefully going to see Jaden on the same page as the receivers. You don't have those problems with the back shoulder. You know, they know exactly where to go with the ball. Because Jaden has all the tools. Does he have the experience and the poise? That's the one thing I want to see from Jaden. Jaden can be that guy for USC, but I haven't yet seen him at UNLV or at USC to have that poise. I'm not saying he's not tough. He'll sit in the pocket and take some pops, just like Miller and Moss did. Both those guys are tough as nails. But I mean the poise to make a play. Like I was the first one to say that you can't hang the second interception in that Notre Dame game on Jaden. But I would like to have him given a receiver a chance to catch the ball. It just seemed like he threw it into the end zone. You know, there was a heavy pass rush, without a doubt. That play was blown up. But let a playmaker try to make a play. That's the kind of poise that I want to see from Jaden. I want to see him go through his progressions cleanly. I want to see him distribute the ball over the middle. I want him to use the whole field. And I think that Lincoln needs to call a play where, although he was at UNLV for a whole year, it's not like he has a ton of starts and reps under his belt. He doesn't. He's still a very inexperienced quarterback. Call the game, and I know Lincoln will call a game that's going to allow him to be comfortable back there. Start with a series of plays in the beginning, but he's got to get between the hash marks. He's got to make some throws in the middle. You know, where are those slants? Where are those crossers? Where are those dig routes? Where are the mesh, concepts? We need that middle of the field. And just like don't throw it 50 times. If we're only throwing to the sidelines, again, you might as well give them the trophy, because that's probably going to happen. Yeah. And so I guess we did our final thoughts. We did our scores. Defensive MVP.
Defensive MVP, I'm going Eric Gentry. Why not? He was the best defensive player on the team before he went out. I got to go with EG. Defense.
Okay. All right. If you grab EG, so I can't grab EG. I'm gonna try to say. Okay, give me your offense. So give me a second, because I haven't been thinking about mine.
I'm going Brian Jackson on offense. I think Brian Jackson is gonna be looking like Lindo, gonna look like Thunder out there. So I got Brian Jackson, breakout, next new great running back at USC. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so
Texas.
If you're going with one, I'm gonna go with the other. I'm gonna say this. See, I want to go way out on limb. This is crazy for me even to think about doing this. No, I'm being sarcastic. I'm gonna go with Kamari Ramsey. He's gonna have a key interception, and he's gonna have about eight unassisted tackles in this game. Maybe one or two for in the backfield. I don't know. I'm trying to ride, because I can't. I think EG's a great pick. But I can see him stepping it up, because we're gonna need something to happen. I think that Danton Lynn's gonna dial it up a bit, and I think that's a perfect scenario for Mr. P. Jalen's not playing, otherwise he'd be a very easy choice as well. But
Jalen had like 14, 15 tackles last year in the bowl game, something crazy like that.
Yeah, I mean, he would definitely be in the running, but again, that's one of the things we got to overcome is missing him in this game. That's why, again, I think that we're gonna see the pressure dial up. I think that you don't have to respect a lot of the throwing game for A&M. So I'm hoping that'll play right into USC, making Ramsey our player of the game. And then on offense, see, normally, caller, hang on 1 second. Normally, what I would absolutely do I would pick my guy. I go with Mekhi Lemon. I've been Mekhi Lemon guy forever. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Jacoby Lane with 3 touchdowns. He's gonna have 3. Hey, look, he picked up 3 touchdowns against Notre Dame last time we saw him. I think not just in the end zone, not in the red zone. I think we're gonna finally start seeing him on some slants. I think we're finally gonna see him, on like 3rd and short. Just again, letting him have the option to go, fade or dig or whatever, and just make that corner. Guy's got a catch radius. I think he's going to have about 9-10 catches and 3 touchdowns. he'll be our offensive player of the game. So I don't know. Hey, listen, this is fun.
Love to
guys
see it.
in the chat, if you guys want to throw them down here. Also, you guys, if you're watching this after, if you guys could leave any comment, or if you're even here as soon as the show's over, leave us an emoji, leave us a comment. It does a lot of help for the show. And while we're on it, yes, thank you all for being here. Who's going? You guys sound off in the chat if you guys are going to the game, or if you're in Las Vegas right now, would love to know. If you see me at the game, please give me a shout out. Appreciate those. I love when I hear you guys in the stands. At least once a game, I get to meet one of you guys. So thank you guys so much. But if you can, go ahead and let us know. Yeah, who do you think? First off, who do you think is going to be our offensive defensive MVPs? Let us know and leave us a comment. Put a comment after we're done here, or if you're watching this, it's not live and you've made it this far. If you made it about an hour into the show and you're still here, please leave us a comment. It can be something as short as an emoji, but everything helps. And go ahead and subscribe and hit that like. You guys know how to do all this stuff. Make sure you're supporting all of the content creators out there, especially the ones that are really supporting us. Guys like Light the Torch guys, like Rusty. I did not tweet. That's what I didn't do, by the way. That's probably getting phone calls. I didn't tweet out. Rusty's always supporting us with his tweets. Gabe is always he's been doing a lot of producing for the show, but also he's one of our biggest supporters on Twitter and on Instagram. Who am I forgetting? Gil Marin, thank you for out there. All of you guys. I know I'm forgetting some people, but appreciate all of you guys being here for the ride this season. We got one more game. Let's go out with the win. Preston, final thought before we go. Oh, make sure you check out Preston's Paradise. Please go get over there. He's putting out tons of content. I've been seeing you guys. This is the hottest channel. This thing is booming. It's moving. Preston, well done. No, I'm watching. Gabe and I were talking about the fact that it's tough to get that momentum, but you with your talent and just being you, man, and what your channel is blowing up. Let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Find me Preston's Paradise on YouTube. I'm talking all things USC football. You can find me on Twitter at FightOnPreston. And yeah, man, I just appreciate all you guys' support that come over from this channel and stuff like that. You guys are the best. Can't thank you enough that my channel is growing, and I appreciate you guys. And final words is just win, man. That's all I gotta say. We gotta win, man.
Wait. I'm sorry. Caller, hi. What's your name? Where you calling from? sorry, caller. This is the weirdest show of all time.
Man. It's the Penn State.
We literally haven't had any calls, so it was so weird for me to have a phone call. I literally almost would have been funny, Preston. We would have ended the show. We've been talking to this guy off the air.
Oh, I knew so, yeah.
I'm sorry, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm the Penn State guy from Pennsylvania. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing very good. Got something quick for us?
Good to hear. What's that?
You got something quick for us? Because we're out the door. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, I feel like I'm half a USC fan listening to you guys and following much. But so real quick then, I just want to say I don't know the pros as well as you guys, obviously, watching some games sporadically here and there. I agree 100% with Preston when he said that I think the main issue is Riley is still coaching like he's in the Big 12. And he just has to adjust a little when you're running the ball successfully, stick with it, don't go away from it. That's the whole idea of running the ball. When you're successful running the ball, you bring some little defenders creep in the box, one or two more defenders, that opens up the pass. But I just wanted to mention that. I know I directed in the show. But one quick question I'd like to know is Kyron Hudson, how good was he? What could expect from him? I'm just curious. You guys for 3 years. I know he's a big body possession type receiver, supposedly not the fastest guy, but I know he didn't have much production until this year. So I was just curious your thoughts.
Kyron Hudson. I guess if you want to, he makes some really tough catches. He takes if you want to talk about a guy that I want to go for a contested catch, he's that guy. I mean, there were some times where there were some balls popped out as well. But overall, if you want to see what kind of receiver you're getting, watch that LSU game and some of the catches he made. He made that miraculous one-handed catch that, really kind of changed the momentum of the game. And then down the stretch of that game, right in front of me, he took a nasty hit, helmet-to-helmet hit, and caught it, sprung right up and pointed first down. And was telling everyone, yep, targeting. And he was ready for the next play. So if you want to know what you're getting from him, you're getting a solid modern-day receiver that has skills. No, he doesn't have that elite track speed, but he can get down the ball. He can get down the field and make those. I wouldn't call him a possession receiver either. He's just a guy that's gonna play tough, gritty, and it's gonna come down with a lot of balls that other guys would not come down with.
Yeah, solid.
Did he play much like get a lot of reps in 2022 and 2023?
Oh.
He didn't put up like a lot of big numbers there until like 2024. But what do you do in 2022, 23? Did he start or?
No, he was kind of buried on the depth chart.
Okay, gotcha. No, I'll let you guys go. Like I said, I feel like I'm half a USC fan by now listening to you guys watch, and you guys got a great show. I always try to support you guys. I know you're at the end of the show, so I won't raise up. Good luck tomorrow, fellas.
All right. Thank you so much. Good luck to you guys in the playoffs, man. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Say
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, bud. Yeah. Sorry. Oh my God. Preston, I was so in the zone. I was already mentally packing, doing a check.
I heard you put the guy on hold, so I was kind of waiting for him. So I knew there was somebody on that phone for sure.
Yeah, my absolute bad. But listen, hey guys, thank you all for being here tonight. Again, we got up to north of around 250 people between Twitter and YouTube. Always love and respect you guys being here. Maybe next time one of you 250 people will call in for us, so we can have a call-in show. But again, Preston, that's what a live show is like. We're gonna do a lot of that. We're gonna hit that up. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed hearing a lot more from Preston. And sometimes I don't get to hear much of Preston during the call-in show. So let's look forward to those. I might spring up live after the game. It's gonna be late. Might be from my hotel room. It'll be the middle of the night for Preston, so I don't know. I'll call him. He'll probably just let it go straight to voicemail. If it does, that's fine. And you're stuck with me. But we'll figure it out. If not, I think I might be able to talk him into something on Sunday. But again, we'll play it by ear. Thank you guys for being here. Fight on, and let's beat the Aggies.
Let's go.